Is it broken up age-wise? Is something happening? No? Okay, cool. Y'all late? You late?
He's like, man.
You what happened? You got VIP? So that gives you permission to be late?
Got him.
VIP gives you permission to be late? Okay. Okay, we get to stare at you. We get to stare at you because you're late. Awesome, man. I feel like a professor at a school or something like that.
I'm gonna see you after class.
Calling out students.
Yeah, right.
I am. I guess I just got a honorary doctorate.
Oh yeah, you did.
So
Yeah.
you wrapped in a robe. What does that give me? Like, what am I allowed to? Can I like prescribe stuff for people? How does this work?
Probably get better parking.
Do they have parking stickers for honorary doctorates? I might get a parking sticker. I need to find out about this information, man.
There you go.
Man, we glad y'all here. This is just a little chill time for y'all to just kind of, we can hang, you know what I mean? It's the calm before the storm.
Yeah.
Right? So just a little chill time to hang, get the dialogue, you know what I mean? Hang out with y'all. We get to hang out together, you know, go through a few questions, you know. Y'all can ask some questions, I can ask some questions. I may ask you some questions. I may want to know some stuff.
I got some questions from Twitter and Facebook too.
For real?
Yeah.
Yeah, he got Facebook and Twitter questions. So
that's right.
You know, hopefully y'all tweeted it, Facebooked. Otherwise, you missed your shot. But yeah, so I wrote this book. It's called Unashamed. Can I see it? This isn't the real book. This is the prototype. Because it's gonna be thicker with pictures in it, and it's gonna be hard. It's hardback. So this is kind of like the plastic fruit at your grandma's house. It's not the real, the real thing. The real thing's coming. But I'm excited because it's a story, and everybody likes stories. My 7-year-old, he wrote his first story. He's like, Daddy, I wrote a story. I was like, cool, let me hear it. He said, I went to the zoo, the end. And I said, well, first of all, y'all laughing at my son? That's funny.
It's a cool story.
So I can come laugh at your kids too? No, I'm joking. You can laugh, you should laugh at me because I said, man, that story is incredible. Never heard anything like that. But I wrote a story, and story has a beginning, middle, and end. It has heroes and villains, and my story has, heroes and villains as well. And obviously the ultimate hero is God, but there's tons of villains, tons of trials and tribulations that people just probably wouldn't expect or wouldn't anticipate. And some people know some of my story, but they don't know it in full detail. And then a lot of stuff I just, haven't shared. A lot of stuff about what it's like to be, in this music industry and navigate some of the stuff that I've had to navigate. A lot of people just don't know how I'm processing all of that type of stuff. So I outlined a lot of those details in here. And some people just, because I think the idea is that, you find your faith and everything's pretty and it's happy ever after, but it's not really like that. It's kind of like, like in Superman and Lois Lane meet, it's not like, I met Superman, life's good. It's kind of like, no, somebody has to kidnap her, hide her in some cave full of kryptonite, and then he comes and he almost dies, then he saves her, and then the story's really happy after that. So that's kind of like how my story is. I did have a powerful experience with the Lord, but it wasn't just like, peaches and cream after that. It wasn't just sitting in a room saying, after that happened. There was a lot of trials and tribulations and a lot of crazy stuff happened. And so I hope people find freedom in reading it and seeing some of the things that I've gone through. And, I appreciate all the support. And then, obviously I've done some songs that tell some stories, but here's like the full scope of it all within this book. And so again, I'm just excited to be able to put this out here, people be able to experience it, to touch it, and to get a better understanding of grace and freedom and hope, even in the midst of some messed up and broken stuff. So it's all in here, man. And I talk about you a little bit.
What did you tell them?
About you? I didn't
give you permission to write about me in there.
Yeah. Apologize. We'll discuss that offline conversation.
All right.
It's cool.
Wow. Okay. So speaking of stuff you put in the book, was there other things you put in the book that you had to tell people about? Was there things that maybe others didn't know? How did you decide what went in the book and what didn't go in the book?
Well, I really, whatever my parole officer let me put in there, I wrote. So, no, seriously, I had some tough stuff to talk about, and I had to literally, like, talk to my mom and say, is this okay? You know what I mean? Like, here's some stories that, is this okay? Are you comfortable with these stories being told? Because some of them were painful, painful for her to read, painful for her to have to relive. And then some of them she didn't know about. So I had to like tell her first, like, hey, listen, we need to talk. So let me tell you some stuff you don't know. And then kind of hear her thoughts, her reaction. And but she's kind of on the same page I am. We're the type of people that are kind of like, listen, it's something that happened, but we're not defined by it, and we move forward. So yeah.
So what inspired you to actually write a book? Was there a moment where you just were like, oh, I should just write a book, or how did that even come about?
I think it's, when I write a lot of songs. How y'all doing? How you guys doing? You good? We're just gonna stare at y'all because y'all a little late. No big deal. It's cool. What's your name? Brett and Erica? Hi, Brett and Erica. Everybody say hi, Brett and Erica.
What up, Brett? What's up, Brett?
Y'all late.
Cool. How long should we stare at them? 5 minutes?
No.
Okay. Just gonna make it a little awkward, not a lot. I'm joking. Welcome. I was inspired to do it because in small settings, I would sit in groups of people and I would share my heart and share my story and share some of the pain that I've gone through. And this is over the course of years I've been doing this. And people would be blown away that I would even tell these stories, that I would even share these kind of deep wounds and deep scars. But what was happening was they were finding freedom. And they were saying, man, if you can share this, there's hope for me, there's freedom for me. And that inspired me to say, man, maybe I should do this on a grander scale. So then I started doing it in music, obviously, and telling stories like, Just Like You, Praying For You, Good, Bad, Ugly. And I heard so much good feedback from those. It was kind of like, no, well, let's put some of this stuff down and write about it and allow people to kind of, experience this grace and this transparency, and hopefully it'll be healing for the readers as well. So,
yeah. This person's asking, how does one truly let go of pain and rejection? So, do you have any advice for somebody that's trying to do the same thing? Maybe let go of some.
Yeah. I think the first thing about it is everybody's got wounds, right? Like one thing we all have in common here. Everybody in here is not gonna. Everybody won't get married, everybody won't have kids, everybody won't have lots of money, but everybody will suffer. Everybody's gonna go through some pain. Everyone's gonna lose somebody they love. That's gonna happen to us, right? And the thing about wounds is that when you don't acknowledge them, when you pretend they're not there, they don't go away, right? Like if somebody just cuts me deep, or I get a gunshot wound, and I'm like, nothing happened. Eventually it's gonna get infected, my arm's gonna fall off. So the sooner you acknowledge the wound, the sooner you can get treatment for it, the sooner it can be cared for. And so the wounds that life has handed us, the pain and whatnot, we can't just ignore it, we can't just push it to the back, we can't pretend it never happened. We have to acknowledge it and then seek healing in that process. And part of that healing process for me was acknowledging it. And now that my wounds have turned into scars, I show my scars off all the time because wounded people say, oh wow, that can heal? Because I got a wound that looks just like that. I got cut in the same way you got cut. There's healing? Absolutely. I experienced it and it exists. So that's how I would say.
And that's why we call him Dr. Lecrae. I was just gonna lay here.
Doc.
He's like, yeah, and my mom.
Tell me more.
Crazy. All right, I'm gonna take some questions out there. Should I jump?
Do it.
Yeah, let's
do
that.
Oh, I'm a doctor. I can tell him to do this stuff.
Dr. Lecrae. I hope y'all were taking notes, y'all. Is this helpful to hear from Lecrae? That was helpful for me. I'm relaxed now. I feel great.
Woo!
All right. I'm only taking a couple, so bam, right here.
Right, he just gave you like a good answer, but I didn't see you typing it down, responding to the person.
Thank you. That's right.
No, we ask the same ones all the time. We collected them all from Twitter, so I don't take those random ones and be like, what's your favorite color? One I do is they always ask, what's your favorite verses? I don't ever get that question, but it's all good. Are you gonna ask that one? I'm sorry, I just busted your question. All right.
Praise the Lord.
Yes,
I
yes.
praise you all the time.
Thank you.
I thank God for you. I never liked rap music or anything.
Come on.
I'm here for
Come on.
I'm here for my 69th birthday.
Come on.
Amen.
That's what I'm talking about.
He does rap music. I'm trying to get him to turn, what's called turn.
Turn up.
She loves you, man. She loves you. Oh, thank you for that.
Aw.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy
Happy birthday to y'all.
to
You 69 too, bro? Happy birthday.
you.
That's awesome, man. Thank you for that encouragement. I
It's her birthday too. She's 12.
Man, his birthday's
back
all
there.
over the place.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have a big
It's
party.
her
We gotta,
birthday.
yeah.
It's your birthday.
All right, that's lit. Wait a minute, no.
Oh, psych.
Is that, wait, it's Erica and was it Daniel?
Brett or something like that.
Brett,
Yeah.
that's right.
Is it cool?
Brett, should we let
They were late. They're late. I don't know, man.
Grace, you're right. See,
Grace.
yeah, flipping it on me. Flipping it on me, I like
You got
that.
the Seahawks on. I don't
What's
know.
going on, Craig, man? So yeah, Brett, sorry for coming late. New York traffic, bro. New York traffic.
I got
It's
you.
crazy. Just want to say I've been a fan of yours since 2008. I was put on to you by a director. I was doing a play called The Last Days of Judas Iscariot, and one of the director of the play threw on I'm a Saint from the Rebel album. And if you haven't checked out that play, it's by a playwright named Stephen Atlee Gurgis. I would advise you to check it out. Recommend it. It's called The Last Days of Judas Iscariot. Judas is on trial in purgatory for betraying Jesus. Anyway, I just want to know: is there any what's next on the horizon for Reach? Like, do you guys specifically do you foresee any forays like into film? Because I think that's the next step.
So, let me translate what you just said. Dear Lecrae, I'm an actor. I'm a very good actor. I've been in plays in New York. One of them that if you don't know, you played yourself, starred a character that I played in. What I'm wanting to do for you, Lecrae, is help your label, Reach Records, grow and expand by adding my talents to your film and television roster. Is that what you just told me?
That is correct.
All right. Ding, 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 ding. You gotta give me a monologue then, man. Give me something. What you gonna do something for us?
The hustle's strong out here. All
You gonna
right.
give us something? On the spot.
Stage fright. Dang.
I ain't gonna do you like
After the
this.
show. After the show.
After the show, after the set, after the music stops, what's next, huh? Okay. No, it's all love. No, that's actually a very good question. Yeah, we are just a band of creatives, man, and we love the arts in general and just being able to infiltrate the arts and change the way people see the world through all forms of media and art. We just wrapped up 116 Kids, so it's a whole kids, animated project, curriculum, and the whole nine. And musically, we just signed an artist named Gavi, who's more in the EDM space. And as far as film and TV goes, man, we're always open, to that reality. And you know what I mean? Always feel free. It's either Katie at Reach Records or Info at Reach Records. Sometimes it's the same person, sometimes it's not. To send us, your thoughts, ideas, anything that we can see that maybe we can, be a part of. We're always interested in that as well. So, a guy just did a whole documentary on us called Unashamed, Unashamed World, and we'll see what that looks like as well. So yeah, man, I appreciate that, man. Keep it up too, man. That's dope.
Back in the day.
Do I have to stand for this? I'm gonna stand for this. First,
You get to stand. There you go.
that's fair. One of you guys. First, God bless you. My name is Mona.
Mona.
I have a question. So, how long have you been doing this?
Oh man. Well, I mean, music since I was like 11. For real, for real. putting out music since '05. So yeah.
So I'm starting music and in this industry, there's a lot of ups and downs, and obviously you know that. It's hard because I want to sing for God, and right now my music isn't for God.
Who's it for then?
Oh shit, God only knows. You know what I mean? But
That's
it's
nice.
like my heart's, I guess God's convicting my heart, and I want to know, how did you get into singing for God and rapping and all that stuff?
So that's a very interesting question. I'm not even, it's not a shameless plug at all, but there's a whole chapter on this very thing. Because I wouldn't even want to do you the disservice of trying to carve all that out in a conversation so quickly. But what I will say is this. A lot of it has to do with the motivation behind what you're doing, right? So I think a lot of times we will consider something for God just because it mentions Him or because it's about something that we think fits culturally, but the motivation is off. So is it really for God, right? So if I'm singing a song like, oh, thank you so much for waking me up, but in my heart I'm like, I hope people buy this song so I can get rich. That song's not really for God, right? But if I'm singing a song like All I Need Is You to my wife who I love, and I'm grateful to God for her, though I don't mention Him necessarily, is that song not for God? It's like the book of Esther. It doesn't mention it one time, but is it in our Bible? It is. And so I think it has way more to do with our heart and our motivation than it has to do with, the specifics. Now, obviously there's some things that we can say that are counter and anti, and that's what I would wrestle against. But man, I think, whether you eat or drink, do all for the glory of God, you know what I mean? So, yeah.
All right, I'm gonna take one more. Nobody seems eager around here. Oh, there we go. Oh, this dude stood up. He's gonna beat me up if I don't take this one, man. Sorry.
Lecrae, I'm a huge fan. Our stories are very similar as far as our upbringings and everything, and especially without a father, right? So my outreach is fatherless children, and it's made me a better father by not having a father. So how did that really affect you growing up without a father? Because there's so many households that don't have that male role model, that positive image, and that's why I feel like a lot of people are lost out there because there's nobody to look up to.
Yeah. Yes, there's a recurring theme throughout this that you see in this book as well, and that's such a foundational problem that I don't think people even realize. It's so foundational. It's chapter 1 in my book, is daddy issues, right? Because that really does set the pace and the tone for how you're going to function, especially as a man, right? Like, as a man, who is the model for you, as soon as you step out here? Over 90% of violent crimes are committed by men. Over 90% of, rapes are committed by men. And if you get into the prison system, over 86% of the inmates in prison grew up in fatherless homes. So I think there's a consistent pattern that's not being addressed, and you can link most of the issues that I've had to me trying to find approval because deep down internally I felt as if the reason why my father wasn't around was because there was something wrong with me. And even though I didn't realize that, that's how I functioned. And so I'm trying to gain the approval. And it gets to a point, where there's not enough Grammys, there's not enough Billboard charts, there's not ever enough of anything that I could get, because what I'm really chasing after is His approval. And that's the beautiful thing about, God the Father, is that God the Father is never asking us to prove our worth to Him. He's given us our worth before we had to do anything, right? Like, you're loved first, and then you function out of that love, not to earn that love. And that just turns everything on its head. And so that's the new way I had to start looking at life, and the way I had to start functioning, is that, man, I'm already approved of. I don't have to earn approval. I just have to live out of that approval and out of gratitude because I'm approved of. So, yeah. Great questions.
Amen.
Awesome. Make some noise one time for Lecrae, aka Dr. Lecrae. cool. Pre-order the book. Please go support this book. How
This
can
is the
they-
last one. You don't have any more of these?
I got one more in my bag.